Hi. In this lesson, we are going to learn about ER verbs in the present tense in Spanish. And we previously, in a previous lesson, learned about AR verbs in the present tense. This time, we're going to be doing ER verbs in the present tense. So the first thing we're going to talk about are the parts of the verb. The second thing we're going to do is look at the steps of conjugating, in this case, ER verbs, and what are the endings for ER verbs. And then we're going to practice with a couple of different ER verbs in Spanish. All right, so let's take a look at the parts of the verb. Well, like we learned in our AR verb lesson, ER verbs have two parts, a stem and an ending. And the endings of every verb in Spanish are either going to be AR, which we've learned about, ER, or IR, which is a future lesson. So the ending here for these verbs, comer, to eat, ER, beber, to drink, ER, and leer, to read, ER, which makes the stem everything else, com, beb, and lay, all right? So the first step in conjugating ER verbs is the first step in conjugating AR verbs. You're going to take off the ending. In this case, the ending is the ER, and that leaves us just with the stem, which in this case is com, for this verb comer, to eat. The second step is to add the correct ending. So let's look at the endings for ER verbs. For I, yo, it's o. For the informal register you, it's es. The formal register you, e. For él or ella, he or she, it's always the same as the formal you, e. For we, nosotros, nosotras, hemos. For you all, the plural you in Spain, it's going to be es. And for the you all, the plural you in Mexico, ustedes, it's going to be en. And then for they, ellos or ellas, if it's a group of girls, the same as the plural in Mexico, you guys, it's going to be also en. So there we have our ER verb endings. Notice that they are very similar to the AR verb endings that we learned before. It's just that instead of A's, it's E's now, right? So I've already done the first step for us. We're going to practice with the verb comer. I've already taken off the ending for us, and I just have the stem here just to speed things along. So I eat is yo como. You informal eat is tú comes. You formal eat is usted come. He or she eats is él o ella come. We eat, nosotros o nosotras comemos. You guys or y'all eat in Spain, vosotros, vosotras comes. Or in Mexico, ustedes comen. And they eat, ellos or ellas comen. Okay, so there we have a correctly conjugated verb, comer, in the present tense. Yo como, tú comes, usted come, él o ella come, nosotros, nosotras comemos, vosotros o vosotras coméis, ustedes comen, ellos o ellas comen. So let's look at this with a couple of other ER verbs. We have beber, to drink, and leer, to read. So again, the first step is to take off the ending, in this case the ER, and that leaves us just with the stem. So beb, or leer is just lay, right, without the ER on there. And then our second step is to add the correct ending for whatever our subject is going to be. So I read is yo. We have our stem le, and the correct ending for the yo form is o. Yo leo. My parents drink, so mis padres. And the stem for drink is beb. And the correct ending for my parents would be they, right? Their pronoun would be they. They drink, so beben. We drink. Nosotros is we. We have our stem here, beb. And for we, the correct ending is bebemos. Carlos reads, so Carlos. The stem for reads is le. And the correct ending for Carlos, whose pronoun is he, right? Carlos reads or he reads would be A. That sometimes throws students off because we have these two E's in a row, but you pronounce both of them. Carlos lee. Carlos lee. You, and the I is for informal. You drink, so informal. Tu. And the stem is babe. And then for the informal you form, we have es. Tu bebes. And finally, my friends and I read mis amigos y yo. Our stem for to read is le. And then the ending for my friends and I, or we, right? We read, or my friends and I read, is hemos. Mis amigos y yo leemos. Mis amigos y yo leemos. Okay, so in this bottom section of your Cornell notes, write a summary of what you just learned about conjugating ER verbs in the present tense. Adios.